TradeDay is now offering multiple funded accounts that you can trade at a time. They are keeping up with the rest of the prop firm industry. It used to be only one account. Now they've gone to three funded accounts that you can trade. And because of that, they are doing a 40% off sale. And on top of all that, they've given me three 50K accounts to give away to you guys. And in this video, I'm going to tell you guys how you can enter into the contest. Since it's been a while since I did a TradeDay review, I'm going to go ahead and review the prop firm, let you guys see all the changes that they've made since it's been about a year since I've done a review video on them. So let's get right into it. The last time that I reviewed TradeDay, they had a whole bunch of different account sizes from 10K all the way to 250K. But since then, they have reduced their account sizes down only to 50K to 150K. On top of that, they've given you more options when it comes to your trailing drawdown and what type of drawdown you want. And I really like how this chart is laid out. It just gives you a lot of options for figuring out exactly what type of account you want to trade. So I'm going to be breaking all of this down. I'm not going to go through the different types of drawdowns because I do have a video already on that, but I'll link it in the cards. That way you guys can watch that video after you watch this one. Starting with the 50K account, your profit target for your end of day trailing drawdown is going to be 3K. Your drawdown is going to be 2K. And then for contracts, you're going to get 5 minis or 50 micros, and the cost is going to be $99. So your end of day is going to be the most expensive account for trade day. The intraday account is actually going to be the cheapest, but it has the exact same profit target, the same drawdown, and the same amount of contracts. It's just cheaper because the type of drawdown is going to be a little bit harder to pass. So that's why it's a bit cheaper. And then for static, you have 1500 for your profit target. You have $500 for your drawdown. You might be wondering why the drawdown's a lot less. It's because for static, the drawdown's not trailing you. And then for contracts, you're going to get 1 mini or 10 micros. And then it's going to be $90. So it's going to be right in the middle of the other two types of account. For the 100K account, the end of day is going to be 6K for your profit target, 3K for your drawdown. It's 10 minis or 50 micros, and then you're gonna get a price of $165. That's with the 40% off right now. It's gonna be the exact same for the intraday, and it's gonna be $132. And then for the static, it's 200 or $2,500 for your profit target, $750 for your static drawdown, and then it's 2 minis or 20 micros, and that's going to cost you 150 bucks. And then the last account is the 150K account. The end of day is going to be 9K for your profit target. Your drawdown is going to be 4K. You're going to get 15 minis or 50 micros, and that's going to cost 225 bucks. For the intraday, it's going to be the exact same thing, but the cost is 180. And then lastly, your static is going to be 3,750 for your profit target, $1,000 for your drawdown. You get 3 minis or 30 micros, and then it's $210. They also have a few different types of trading platforms that you can use. So NinjaTrader slash TradeAvate, right? Because those two are linked together, and also really TradingView as well. Because if you have TradeAvate, you can link the account to TradingView and then trade directly on TradingView. They also have Jigsaw Trading, and then TradeDay X, which is basically like TopStep X. It's basically the same thing. I really like TradeDay X, TopStep X, all the X's. That's a really good platform to use. And then also they have Quant Tower. There's only 3 objectives that you have to follow in order to actually pass the combine. First, you have to hit your profit target that they set. So if you're in a 50K, you need to hit 3K. If you're in a 150K, you need to hit 9K. So that's pretty simple. Second, they have a minimum of 7 trading days. And I know most of the prop firm industry, it's only, I would say between like 5 and 1 really is how much you need to trade to be able to pass. And I could see where some people will say, well, 7 days is a lot. I'd rather go somewhere else. I don't want to trade 7 days. But there's a reason why they want to trade 7 days. And the reason why is because of the payouts. I'm going to get into the payouts, but just know that the payouts is why they want to see 7 days worth of trading. And then lastly, they want to be consistent. They have a 30% consistency rule. Again, it's a little bit low, but the reason why is because of the way the payouts work for trade day. They want to make sure that you're consistent in the eval portion, or the test portion. That way when you're funded, you don't have that consistency anymore. The consistency goes away, but they don't want you to try to hit these massive, massive home runs just so that you can get a payout really quick. So they want to make sure that you're consistent, you have a system, and then when you get funded, you continue to trade that system, which is why they have kind of a lower consistency rule as well as more days traded. But if you look at any like straight to funded, where you go basically live that same day when you pay, the consistency rule is only 20%. So you have to be even more consistent when you go straight to funded. So, I mean, this is really a nice trade off, in my opinion. There are only three guidelines to follow and only one way to fail. Trade during the permitted times, day trade only. So you can't hold a trade through the close into the next day's session. Permitted products, so you can only trade what the permitted products are, and then stay within your position limits. So when I went through all the contract sizes, you have to stay within that contract size. You can't trade more than what your account size will allow you to trade. This is a list of all the permitted products that you're allowed to trade. They have ES, they've got NQ, you can do minis or micros. I know that's what probably 99% of people are probably going to be trading, but they also have the Dow. They have all the Forex future pairs. So that's kind of cool if you're coming from Forex and you want to trade. Pretty much every platform has this though, but still really cool to be able to trade those future Forex pairs. They've got energy like crude. I know a lot of people trade crude and natural gas, and also your metals. A lot of people like trading gold futures. And then they have your agricultural futures like lean hogs and live cattle. If you guys haven't, do yourselves a favor and like look at lean hog and live cattle and just paper trade them, because the tick size is crazy. And I think you guys should all do yourself a favor and look at some of these tick sizes. I mean, $25 per tick on silver. I know I'm getting a little bit off on a tangent here, but I just find it really interesting, other than like ES and NQ, that these tick sizes get crazy. I mean, that's 25 tick size. It just gets wild. But yeah, do yourself a favor and look at some of these other instruments that you could potentially trade on these prop firms. There's only one rule. Just don't hit that maximum trailing drawdown. As long as you do that, you'll pass the eval, no problem. And now let's get into the funded portion of the prop firm. I forgot about one thing. You can also reset the eval if you fail it. It's going to be a $99 reset, or you can just wait until your payment renews and it comes with the reset. I always say the reset's free. They say the reset's free. Technically, you're paying for it, but you're not like double paying, so you don't have to reset twice. So if you fail on your first try, instead of paying the $99, you can just wait until the month is over. And then once you renew your subscription, it'll come with a reset, which kind of makes it like a free reset. Once you get into your funded sim account or your funded live account, there's only two rules you need to really worry about. The first rule is do not hit or exceed your maximum drawdown, which is the same as the eval. This maximum drawdown amount you can lose. The limit is calculated according to the evaluation you purchased, end of day, intraday, or static. So basically, it carries over for your drawdown. Whichever account you chose for the evals, which you're going to get for your funded account. Funded traders are not permitted to trade within 2% of the price limit. Traders in breach of this policy will lose their funded account. This doesn't happen often, but when the Trump trade war was going on, and still could potentially happen, we saw those crazy price swings, and 2% price limits were definitely getting hit, especially on NQ. We're getting really close on ES. So that's just something that you're going to want to be aware of. I actually have a video on that too. I'll put that in the card as well. There's no additional policy for funded live traders to be aware of, but they do note the slippage risk management rule policy, which basically you're trading on a live account in the market. So you can get slippage. If you're trading news and you've ever been slipped, I mean, you can even get slipped in a simulated environment, but if you've ever been slipped in a live environment, you can't get that money back because that's live. I know a lot of traders who have been trading prop, when they get to live accounts, there might even be a glitch with the trading platform, and they'll be like, oh man, can TradeDay reimburse me for the money that I lost? Because that's what they do for the sim funded. The answer is no, because of that slippage or that problem. You just can't trade. So that's just something to be aware of when you do go live. If you have a trailing max drawdown, it will freeze when it reaches your starting account balance. However, from this point on, your funded live account will not be allowed to go into a negative balance, or your sim funded account will not be allowed to go below the starting balance. If it does, it'll be stopped from trading and you will lose your funded account. Basically, all that's saying is if your maximum drawdown was 2K and then you hit your 2K mark, then your account will no longer trail you anymore. You just can't go basically back to zero. If you go back to zero at any time, then you've blown the account. So even if you're up 5K on the account and then you let it go back to zero, then you're done. Your account is blown. Or even if you're at 5K and you take a payout and now you're down to 2K, well, if you go back down to zero, your account's still blown. So again, just something to worry about. And actually, I just realized that I drew that where my head is at, but I think you guys get the picture. If you lose your funded account, any profits you have will be returned to you after the profit share with TradeDay, except for the following. All profits from trading tier 1 data releases. So you're not allowed to trade tier 1. That's like FOMC, that is CPI. So you're going to make sure that you know what tier 1 news releases are so you don't trade them. Traders are found in breach of our prohibited trader practices. Traders found to be continuously abusing our permitted times, permitted products, or permitted position size guidelines. So basically, just don't trade outside of the permitted times, which is don't hold your trades into the close or after the market's close. Permitted products are pretty hard to break, but also permitted position size can be very easy to accidentally get into more size than what you meant to. So just try to stay at the same size and not go over what the size is. And then profits earned in a simulated account. Once you pass your eval account, they're going to move you to a funded sim account. To actually activate the account is going to cost $139. That's just a one-time fee. And then after that, you can trade on the account. There is no professional market data fee to pay, which is pretty huge because that can get a little costly. And then there is no slippage rule as well. A funded sim account is subject to milestone reviews. You can earn up to $5,000 in profit, and that is the first milestone. The milestones are calculated on gross profits. That's the profit in the account plus any withdrawals you may have taken from the account. When you reach the milestone, you must stop trading and email fundedtrader@tradeday.com to let the team know that you've reached a milestone. So they're not going to track this for you. You need to track this. Even if you've taken a payout, you need to know how much money that you've made. The head of trading will then assess your account. From here, you may be offered an extension to continue trading in the funded sim account up to the next milestone, or they'll move you up to a live funded account. The minimum amount to transfer to a live account is $1,000. So you need at least $1,000 to get into a live account. Please note that any excess profits made in the milestone before the review is conducted will be forfeited and will not be eligible for payouts, transfer to a live account, or an extension. So, if you have hit the milestone of $5,000, make sure you stop trading and you email them so that they can take a look at your account, because you won't be able to take out anything above the $5,000. They're going to take it out of your account. So you really need to make sure you follow this rule. You can make withdrawals from the funded sim account as you earn profits. The milestone level at which you are assessed for a move to the funded account is calculated based off your total profits you made, which we talked about earlier, and these profit totals in your trading account, including withdrawals that you've taken. Only the net profit, your gross profits minus your withdrawals, will be transferred to your funded account. No additional drawdown will be transferred at the time. Risk limits may be adjusted to reflect withdrawals. And then they have an example here. So if a trader has earned $10,000 after commission in a funded sim account, this is their gross profit. During this trading, the trader has taken a $3,500 payout. The gross profit is $10,000 after commission. The net profit is $6,500. Only the net profit will be transferred to the funded account, which would be the $6,500. Once you've hit your milestones and they moved you to a live account, this is the type of features that you're going to have for the live account. You are going to be trading in the live markets on the exchange. Setting up takes around 5 days because of the broker, the clearing firm, and they have to have time to do a KYC and AML background checks. You have to purchase professional market data feed, which is currently $140 per month per exchange. So if you're trading the CME, you have to pay the $140 per month. If you're trading on a different exchange, then and you want to, multiple exchanges, then this price could be higher depending on what instruments you trade. All funded live accounts are subject to the slippage rule to help TradeDay manage our risk from slippage. And then TradeDay has a one-off setup fee for both funded sim and funded live accounts of $139. So you got to pay another $139 to be in the live account. Funded live traders will be subject to the monthly professional market fee, which we just talked about. Let's talk about everybody's favorite subject, which is getting paid and the payout policy that TradeDay has. A trader can make daily withdrawal requests after they have cleared the buffer zone. Profit share for the trader is based on the trader's lifetime withdrawals. Withdrawals of profits above the buffer zone are at an 80-20 split in the trader's favor for the first 50K. So the first 50K worth of profit is going to be 80-20. Then it goes to a 90-10 for the next 50K. And then it goes to 95-5 for the lifetime of withdrawals over 100K, which is actually crazy because I've never seen anybody do a 95-5 split. It is 100K, which is a lot. You're gonna have to be very, very consistent to get there. You're probably gonna be moved to a live account before you ever get to 95.5, but it's possible for sure. There are definitely people who have done it. Buffer zone profits are available to withdraw at any time, but are subject to a 50-50 split with TradeDay. The minimum payout request is $250. So let's talk about the buffer zones now. The buffer zone is going to be different for each account, but the buffer zone is pretty much just going to be your maximum trailing drawdown. So for a 50K account, you're going to start out with 50K, obviously. Your maximum drawdown is going to be $2,000. So you need to make the $2,000, and then everything above the $2,000, you're going to be able to withdraw for a payout. Now, you can touch the buffer zone, right? If you make the $2,000, you can take some money out of here, but it's a 50-50 split. So let's say you make 2,000, you're like, you know what, I just want to take my money and I want to get out. Well, then the prop firm is basically going to pay you 1K of that $2,000. And the reason why they do this actually makes a lot of sense because they aren't really going to be making any money off of you because you are trading in a funded sim environment, not a live environment. So they're paying you out of pocket. So basically, you're taking half of the money. And then at that point, you pretty much would have blown the account because you're going to be at $0 and you're not going to be able to recover after that. So that's something that you really want to think about when you're taking your withdrawals. So the 50K static, same starting balance, but instead your maximum trailing drawdown is only going to be 500. So you can start taking withdrawals after you made $500. For the 100K, it's $3,000 that you're going to have to make. For the static, it's going to be $750. And then for the 150K, you need to make $4,000 or you need to make $1,000 in the static account to be able to request a withdrawal. Payout requests are processed within 24 hours on business days only, which is awesome. That's super, super fast. As long as your request is received before 5:30 p.m. Central Time. International bank wire withdrawal is going to be $15 per withdrawal. If you're in the US, it's going to be free. You can also get withdrawals through crypto. L1 crypto is going to be $2.50 per withdrawal plus your estimated gas fee. And then L2 crypto withdrawals are going to be free. So you can get your money in crypto, which is pretty dope. And it all goes through RiseWorks. So you're going to have to sign up for a RiseWorks account when you're trying to get a withdrawal through TradeDay. I really like TradeDay. I like all the options that they give you as far as the accounts that you can get. I also like the fact that you can get paid out from day one, and that if you're in your buffer zone, you can still get a payout if that's what you want to do. There's a lot of flexibility involved. There's not a lot of rules that you have to follow. Just mainly don't hit your trailing drawdown, which makes life a lot easier when it comes to trading. I just want to say thank you guys so much. The channel just hit 3,000 subs. I am very appreciative of all of you guys for subbing. Now for the giveaway details. To enter into the giveaway, you have to go down in the comments and comment TradeDay. If you do that, you'll be entered to win into the giveaway. And if you win, then I'm going to be posting all the winners in a week's time from when this video is published. So you only have a week to comment TradeDay. And I'm going to choose the winners from the comment section. It's all going to be random. It's going to be completely fair. And you will be able to win a 50K eval from TradeDay, and you get to choose what type of drawdown you want, whether you want intraday trailing drawdown, you want end of day trailing drawdown, or you want a static account. You get to choose. So make sure you comment TradeDay down below for your chance to win. Thank you guys so much for all the support. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.